Hi Brad, thanks for meeting with me.
Hey, no problem.
So first off, before we get into the company that you have here, I'm just wondering how you got involved in the health and fitness industry to start.
Well, something I've always been interested in. My dad actually, when I was about 10 years old, kind of introduced me to the barbells and the dumbbells. Right? He's a pretty big lifter, and so I started real young, just kind of getting into it, reading just fitness magazines and things like that. Right? So it's always been a hobby for me. I always knew it was going to be a hobby, and then after high school, went to Mohawk for business. Graduated, got a job, hated it. So I thought, well, why not just follow my passion, right? Follow my hobbies, right? And then so I decided to go back for health, wellness, and fitness. And then I never looked back.
It's actually kind of funny how you mentioned that I actually attended Mohawk for business as well before, went into the insurance side, hated it, took this program because I got into health and fitness, and
Exactly.
It's kind of funny how our stories kind of go along there.
Yeah.
So with that, when you decided to choose the Mohawk program, what made you choose that over, say, going to like a McMaster University for a kinesiology kind of program?
I don't know. Well, after business, I went to the job center at Mohawk, and I was just talking about kind of my interests and where I kind of wanted to go. And she said there's this new program, and at the time it hadn't even opened yet. Health, wellness, and fitness, right? So she kind of planted the seed, and I said, I'll think about it. I was working for about a year, and every day, again, I hated my job, so every day I thought, seems like a good idea. That seems like a good idea. And then I actually quit that job, took a pay cut to work at 5 Star. Just worked the night shift there, cleaned the machines and things like that, right? So that's when I realized, well, this is what I want to do, right? And then that seed that she planted, about a year ago, I remember that program, and I thought, well, now's the time.
Makes sense. That's awesome. While you were at 5 Star, did you do any shadowing of trainers, or you just kind of like look at them from the side and be like, I can kind of see myself doing that?
At the time, no, I was just the grunt, just cleaning the toilets and putting weights away.
Alright, so it didn't really affect you just seeing them in the field or anything? You just...
No. I always thought they did a cool job, right? They kind of come and go as they please, and they got to, it was cool what they did, right? But I was just kind of the
Alright, awesome.
kind of the grunt there.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but so once you started school and then you started volunteering and then doing work, if you could, from your point of view now, to tell yourself back then, is there anything like any pointers you would give out to yourself that you wish you did differently, kind of going through?
Yeah, well, I guess I started off volunteering 4th semester, right? And that really helped me. That really set me apart in my future careers, right? That would be one thing. I just wish I had more of that. Either more time volunteering, right, or just different experiences, right? While I was in school, probably should have jumped on more. Reached out to different styles of training or different types of fitness industry, things in the fitness industry, right? That's what I would have done differently.
So when you did volunteering in school, what kind of volunteering did you do? Were you in like shadowing a trainer, or were you doing like group training? Like, is there anything specific that you?
It was
were in there for?
Athletic training mostly. It was SST.
Okay.
Stony Creek Sports Specific Training. They're some of the best. I saw a lot of professional athletes come through there, high-end, like university football players and stuff like that. So I got to shadow their trainers. I got to see kind of how they made the programs, how they ran their gym, ran their business, and that was huge for me, right? Starting out, just kind of seeing that.
Right, that's awesome. I mean, it's a lot of people at once. So would you say like your experiences there kind of helped you form the idea for Ideal Boot Camp and like why you want to do this kind of training? Did that have any?
I think the boot camp itself kind of I got introduced to this style of training a bit later on,
right.
But that's where I got my base, right? What I learned from there, I took to I got a personal training job after that, and that I carried all that stuff with me there.
Yeah.
And of course it's still a part of it, right? It's still kind of my foundation knowledge, right? So that's what, a little bit of the stuff is based off of that for sure.
That's pretty awesome. So with Ideal Boot Camp, what would you say your competitive advantage over other boot camp style places are? Like what sets you apart?
Schedule. So what we do is we run a boot camp, right? Yeah. But any time of day you show up, so 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., you can start your workout, right? So you hop on a piece of cardio, you're watching the demonstrations as you warm up, and then as soon as you're ready to go, you hop in and do your workout, right? So as opposed to, you have a 9:30 class or a 4:30 and a 6 o'clock, you only have 3 or 4 options. We have just any time of day, you show up and do it, right?
Sorry, I think I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just gonna ask, like, so you can jump in any time. So, like, say I show up at 4:45, but there's already people on the floor that started at 4:15.
Yeah.
I go on the treadmill. I would see what I'm doing for the day.
Exactly.
Jump right in. They'd finish, but I'd still keep going, kind of thing.
Yeah, anytime
it
it
just continues.
Every 90 seconds, someone can jump in. Yeah, so if you finish work at 4 o'clock and there's a 5:30 class, what do you do for that hour and a half? You waste that time, right? Or what if you work till 5:30 and there's a 5:30 class? You're gonna be late, or you have to wait till 7 o'clock. So this kind of takes the excuses out of it, right? Because that's one of the major excuses for people not exercising, is they don't have time. Because we completely eliminate that excuse.
So yeah, that's probably one of people's main barriers is time, and then you guys totally take that out. So that's definitely awesome.
Yeah.
And walking through the facility, I see a lot of TVs and I just see numbers on there. And do you care to elaborate on like what that is exactly?
Well, one of them is our timer, right? So that timer just runs all day long. Our interval timer. So that's why any time of day you can show up and just walk right in, right? You just kind of wait for the next interval to come up, and then you're good to go. Another thing we have is heart rate monitors. So all our members have an actual heart rate monitor strapped on, and it's projected onto 2 TV screens. So they're watching in real time their relative heart rate monitor, right? Their relative heart rate as they're working out. We kind of highlight a target zone where we want them to be most of the workout. So it's really cool too. It kind of gives instant feedback and allows us as trainers to help them, either push them, right? If we see they're slacking, right, we can kind of push them and kind of use it to educate them as well, right?
That sounds really cool. I've never seen that anywhere else. Are you guys the only place in Hamilton that does that, or?
I'm pretty sure we are in Hamilton, yeah. Only a few places right now do it, but I think it's a future trend. I think usually a lot more clubs in the future do it, right? A lot of
I'm wearing Polar.
a lot of Fitbits and Polar watches and the Garmin's and whatever. Like the fitness trackers are upward trend right now, right? So this is just the next level. This is we're going beyond just steps, right?
Yeah. So you're kind of setting the standard when it comes to that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So moving away from radio, back to yourself personally, what would you say as a trainer, or even at this place, like anything, like your most rewarding experience was?
Just being able to help, like, as a trainer, as a one-on-one trainer, right?
Or anything, even working here, like if you've noticed anything that's like really like makes you like, wow, like this is my career, like I'm glad to do this.
Yeah, no, I noticed that just working with one-on-one with people, kind of seeing them, week to week, kind of progress. Their clothes get baggier, right? They come in, their smile's brighter, right? You can see the changing. You can see they're happier. Just kind of seeing people's progression, right, as time goes on. That's what's kept me around.
That's pretty awesome. So if you were to give any advice to someone like myself that's coming out of the health and wellness program at Mohawk College, what piece of advice would that be?
Always keep learning, right? Put your time in. Something I did early on is you have an opinion, and I always thought my way's right. There's no other way, right? So always be open-minded, right? Kind of research the opposite of your own opinion, right? Whatever you think, kind of research and open your mind to, maybe there's other ways or better ways to do it, right? Always be kind of open to change, kind of go with the flow, right? Kind of just always develop yourself that way, right? Always searching continuous education, right? Always try to expand, take new courses, look at the research studies, always keep learning, right?
So yeah, continuing education. So personally for yourself, I'm sure you can keep up to date. Like, is there anything specific that you do other than research? Like, do you follow articles? Like, are you a magazine subscriber by any chance? Like, what do you do to keep up to date?
Right. Well, I have the Muscle and Fitness magazine subscription just for the sake of it, right? A lot of the stuff in there is kind of iffy, right? But I like to look at an article, but then actually look at their sources. So actually look at the research behind what they're saying, right? To see if there's any validity or whatever, kind of where they're getting the research studies from, right? A lot of research studies are kind of, not as clear as they should be, right? So, just different things like that.
Well, I appreciate everything for you taking the time out of me. Everything I've learned a lot today.
No problem.
So, thanks again for meeting with me.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.